miss, your airplane, it's in exactly 1 month. I was so stubborn. My goal when I went into the States was to update my camera and buy a new one, which I did. Even though I knew if I'm buying the camera, I'll have no money to go back to Romania and I'll have to work very hard to give those $2,000 back. But I didn't care. I got like a super sale, so I got the 7D camera, Canon 7D. I spent only like $1,300. So back home it was almost double the price, so it was a very good deal. And with the rest of the money, before we get into my end of summer trip, let me tell you about how I spent my last days in Wisconsin Dells and why is this place so popular. Wisconsin Dells is a city in the south central part of Wisconsin, and it has 3 beautiful aqua parks. And one of them, called Noah's Ark, is the largest aqua park of the United States. As a J1 student in Wisconsin Dells, you get like an entertainment card, which it means you have free entrance to those aqua parks, but only for once. Agency that I was going with, they had like a partner in there, or like it was part of the agency. It was called, or is called, All Friends. They have like organized trips at the end of the summer for J1 students, trips around United States, bigger ones or like smaller ones. Obviously I couldn't afford the main one, which you basically see all the important cities and cool attractions, so I went for the second one, which was $600, but with all extra money I spent around $1,000. And I also went with them to a Linkin Park concert in Chicago during my summer. This organized trip was the best idea for me because I managed to make very nice friends. It was a lot cheaper compared if I would just go and travel by myself. It was easier, and I visited Washington, Niagara Falls, and New York. Trip ended in New York. We had like 5 days in New York, and after that I supposed to came back to Romania. But when you went to the States, you don't know exactly the day you will return, right? Like you buy a ticket with a returning date, which you just assume, and then you change it over the time. And when I changed my plane ticket, I can't explain why I changed only the date and I didn't change the amount. I assumed like I will come back in October because I could stay until October, but then because I didn't have so much success with my summer jobs and some of them ended so early because of the season and the rain and blah blah blah, I had to come back in September and I forgot to change that. So after my trip I went to New York in the airport to do my check-in and so on. And the lady in there just told me, "But miss, your airplane, it's in exactly 1 month." And I was like, fuck. So after like 5 hours on a phone call, they managed to find me another flight. And I was so lucky because the company which I was flying with was KLM. So they allowed you to change your airplane ticket 3 times without paying, thanks God, because I had only $60 left in my wallet. So I had to spend 2 more days in New York by myself with $60. Yeah! That was pretty tough. 2 days in New York. Where should I start? I was very lucky because 3 of the people which I became friend with on the trip, they were from Romania also, and they planned to stay after the trip ends in New York anyway. So I think they were staying a couple of days. So they had like everything, like a place to sleep. The first day I returned to the, actually it was evening, I just returned to the hostel where we used to stay, and these people were having like a place to stay, and I just booked the cheapest bed. I felt like in a hospital. And the second day, those people were so kind, so they let me to sleep in their room. They had a lot of money saved, I didn't. And they already booked like a Visit New York card, which allows you to go in all the museums and interesting places, which otherwise you need to spend a lot of money on it. So they were like having a lot of things to do, which I couldn't because I had no money to buy this card or to buy individual tickets. So I had a place to sleep, but I didn't have no one to hang out with and do things with. So I was alone. The second day I had like full day for myself. So in the morning I think I went to Coney Island, which was amazing. I spent like almost the entire day in there, and then I came back to Times Square, and I felt like, okay, I have been in New York for 6 days. I've seen the main attractions. I don't have this card. I just want to enjoy New York, and I want to don't just use metro and see important attractions. I just want to walk. I want to photograph it. Very bad idea. So my plan was to walk from Times Square to World Trade Center Monument.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Which I don't know how much it's supposed to be, but it's like 11 metro station. Can you imagine that? And I asked people how to get there, even a policeman, and he was like, just take the metro. And I was like, no, I want to walk. And he was like, you're crazy. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. And I was like, no, I really want to enjoy New York. And it was 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Anyway, I didn't listen to his advice. He showed me the way. He was just, okay, keep going on this street. And I was okay, how hard that can be. I'll just see like people, and it's like New York, full of life. I end up in some really industrial places, and I was alone in the street, no one around me. It looked like haunted, or I don't know in which places I could be. It was just so scary. And in some points there were like 2 guys on the bicycles, like doing circles around me, and I was like, don't do any eyes contact, just keep going. And it was just me and my backpack with my camera. And eventually it was 2 o'clock in the morning, so I gave up. I was so close to the monument, but I didn't make it. Like I supposed to see a really nice fountain, or I'm not sure what. I didn't manage to reach it, and I took the metro. And I know, like, I asked someone, like, where is the metro station and blah, blah, blah. And that person helped me. And then just asked me like, what the fuck are you doing alone in New York, 2 o'clock in the morning, girl and white? And I was like, well, I was trying to reach World Trade Center monument from Times Square. And he was like, you could be dead or raped. I'm amazed you're alive. Yeah, so this is how my USA travel trip ended. I also didn't eat so much. I think I had only coffee and croissants because, yeah, I spent $40 on the accommodation, so I had $20 for food for 2 days, which is not so much. Dunkin' Donuts, yeah! And because I was exhausted on the way back, I had 2 flights, and I don't even remember when we took off. Like, I was so tired after walking 2 days and not eating, and I slept all the way and no one could wake me up, so I missed all the food. And even on the second flight I missed the food again, so that was so sad. I ended up in Budapest super hungry. I haven't ate for more than 24 hours and I had no dollars in my wallet, nothing. So I had to convince people to bring me to Romania, and my parents will pay when we will reach Romania. Yeah, so I was that broken, but it's worth it. I got a camera, so that made me the most happy girl on the planet. And doesn't matter, like, it was a really nice experience. I learned more English at the end. I made new friends. I've seen really nice places which otherwise I will not have the financial support to go and visit. Of course, not at that age, not even now. So from my point of view, even though I worked hard, even though I was unlucky with my jobs, it was a lot my fault too. It was worth it, all the experience, because otherwise, even buying that camera, even if I will save money 3 years in Romania, I will never buy it. Like, it's too much. But when you have to give that money to someone, like, you save a lot more and you're more careful, right? So it was worth it for me. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Ciao, viernes.